Good morning, everyone. Just a couple of minutes before noon here at beautiful Gulfstream Park. Another sultry day, Brian. Fast-made track, firm turf course, of course. Great to be back on the turf these last couple of weeks, and all-weather Topita.
Absolutely. After a big Saturday, we ran the sheer drama, the prep for the Princess Rooney, the win in you're in Princess Rooney. A little bit of an upset with Vincy Girl. Pace makes the race, and she took advantage of it. We'll talk about it in the lightning round, but yeah, it was pretty cool. A couple stakes yesterday, and always fun to look forward in that big Grade 3 later on in September.
We had a single in the Rainbow Six, remember? Single in the Rainbow Six, but didn't come to fruition. So 125,000 they're guessing this afternoon, and there you see it'll kick off in race number 5. Of course, I'll have a ticket later on, and we got a bunch of tickets always on the weekend, and Brian's got the early pick 5 ticket, which is going to start right now.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it now, Ronnie. I had to really kind of bob and weave here and rework things, and you can see race 2. I just big draw in of the 13, and that happened yesterday in the 13-1. I do have the 8 on top in that spot, though. That is 16 cigarettes. Yeah, that is wide open. 35, I got a single there in McMullen. Race number 4, I've got the single in Fulminate. She's going to be a short number now with Fields of Green scratching out. In the 5th is, to me, Ron, very, very difficult. I'm on the inside with After Party for Jack Sisterson.
Yeah, that race is just, the horse I put on top, Justin Smiles. Let's see. I like the drop. We'll see.
Drop makes sense.
It's wide open. I'm going deep in the race. Believe me, I'm not singling anybody in that particular race. Getting to this first race, going to be 7.5 furlongs on the turf. These are maiden fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. No scratch in this race. That one big scratch you mentioned basically on the card today, that sort of
that was it.
Upset it. But we'll just start off here with the number 3 horse in here, and that's Phoenix with the Irish bred. Going to get the blinkers on today.
Yeah, just a reverse exacta for you and I here. Phoenix of with maybe a little bit of a short horse last time. Added Lasix, and the work tab was a little spotty, but she ran well, all things considered, and this is not the toughest group we're going to see here. She's going to stretch out and try turf. She is bred top and bottom, a European pedigree on the top and on the bottom to run on the lawn, so let's put her on top in a race where I'm barring something, Ron, weirdo. I think we've got the 2 here.
Yeah, Veronica, see, you look at that turf race 2 back. What this horse do was up on near the pace where I think you have to be. So I put a line through the last race, even though it was good on the Torpedo. Second, I think those are the logical 2 in race number 1. In race number 2 this afternoon, as Brian mentioned, 7 furlongs here. These are claimers 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3. Going to scratch the 3 and the 14. Please note, as you said, one yesterday, and is it your topic now?
No, but I put the horse
line,
on.
He was good. 13 in there. So right now, the pick 4. Do you want to show that one?
No, we'll just run that back. But you mentioned something. I'm looking now, and it's very rare that the morning line favorites on the outside and scratched in. That's what happened yesterday. That was a big favorite. This one, maybe this horse isn't favored, but that's your morning line favorite. Getting into the race, so make sure you take note of that.
Yeah, getting to this race, you said you started with the number 8 horse in here. Let's go there, and that's 16 cigarettes.
Well, it's just the trainer here, Ron. Frank Regalbuto has been very, very live. This is a horse that has good winning form, except for the last race. And I'm not going to tell you I know what happened. It was a total no-show. It was a good race for the level. The freshening, look at the bullet on August 10th, and we've got a barn now that has just very I'm going to say quietly, because this is not a barn that we think of as a high percentage barn or a barn that's going to run a lot of horses. The Regalbuto barn is winning consistently and consistently running live horses.
Yeah, before we show the video of the 7th Saint No More, I was going to talk about the number 12, Ama Pepper, and I got a stat I want to show you on Jose Castro. We've been talking about this guy a little bit. It hasn't been around much, but I like this stat. It's just over the past year. 2 for 9, 22%, 67%. I just wanted to mention that this guy's been doing all right. He's got to deal. The horse got to deal with the outside post. I put that one on top.
Listen, I'm not fighting you at all, and this is going to be the first time that Ama Peppa's going to run on dry land for Jose Castro too. That was a sloppy track. You want to play devil's advocate. Practico is now, we know, way off form. He was terrible the other day at a short number, but that was a good race. And Ama Peppa, with the exception of the race 2 back, which I feel like now, for whatever reason, just draw a line through it, his form is very consistent.
Similar to what 16 cigarettes cigarettes is doing.
There you go.
Coming off a bad performance. Let's show the video of Saint No More, who I think might end up the favorite in here, even with the 13 getting in.
Wouldn't shock me at all. I mean, they're right next to each other in terms of morning line, and maybe they kind of overlook the fact that the 13 gets in. Ran pretty well last time, but also he's 3-2, Ron, and I feel like this kind of sort of set up for him a little bit, and he was a little, to me, flat in the lane. And now 2 starts in a row for Ron Coy, 70 cents on the dollar in 3-2.
Yeah.
You really didn't get much, and
Right.
they're telling you he was supposed to run big. Ooh, I would be a little careful here to take another short number on this horse.
Yeah, it's just a wide open race. Brian's got the 12 in there, Mike Mon, and maybe you look at the number 2 horse, Dreams of My Father. Just a wide open race to kick off the first pick 4 of the afternoon. Flipping the page, we're going to sprint on the Torpedo with race 3. These are maiden claimers, and they're 3-year-olds and up, and there's no scratches in this race here, Brian. And you want to start? Well, you got the 5. This is single yours. Let's show the video.
Yeah, this is McMullen and Protest. Protest is actually going to get the better of McMullen, 21-1 McMullen. But you watch these races and you do these replays and you do the homework here. Who ran a better race? I mean, clearly it's McMullen. He's being dueled on the inside to the 3-5 winning favorite. Protest didn't run at all. He just picked up the pieces. He sat back, and when McMullen tired, he overtook him. Well, good for you, but that's, races within the race are why you watch replays, and people, a casual fan, might look and say, oh, Protest beat McMullen, and he did it pretty easily last time. Not the case when you go back and look at that replay. And we've got a horse, Ronnie, that is now outside, that has speed, and isn't going to meet anyone at 3-5, Tricky Tiger.
Yeah, so I totally agree with you. We have the same, horse on top. You got the 3 in there, 44. I went with Protest in second to grab a share in there. So logical way to go in race number 3. And as Brian mentioned with the ticket, he's actually single McMullen in there. And boy, Heather Smullen had a really nice win yesterday as the 4-5 favorite, or even money favorite. So she's been winning some races to the point I'm trying to make. Race number 4, going to be on the Torpedo once again, sprinting at 5.5 furlongs this time for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We're going to scratch. This is the big scratch I was alluding to today. Field of Green. It sort of changes the race around a little bit.
No doubt about it, because you had Field of Green at 2-1, Fulminate at 5-2. I would assume at least Fulminate defaults into a huge favorite. She's off the claim for Carlos David. We can actually show you the race, too, because I've got her on top. We've got Fulminate. Dove in Charge actually wins the race, or beats Fulminate, excuse me. They run 2-4 in this spot here. But Fulminate's still got her speed. I like that. And now we're off the claim for Carlos David, and that's a 32% move. He's really, really good on Tapeta as well. And Fulminate now, to me, Ron, looks like the controlling speed. I want to mention this, and we've seen this now. It played out yesterday, and we've seen it more often with the David barn. Watch the tote board. Merlin yesterday, first time gelding, switched to Carlos David, and a class drop was 5-1 on the turf. The board said there's no chance Merlin wins, and he ran like it. Watch the board on this barn. It's going to tell you what's going on.
You're a little further down the horse that I ended up putting on top. And well, actually, I'd Field of Greens. I mean, not second, but talking about Cajun Fantasy. Boy, first off the claim by Oscar Gonzalez, but I liked that last race last time. Thought it was a good race.
It really was. It was with Dave Fox. Now, Oscar's been laying in the weeds a little bit. He's actually off the claim with the 1, Chloe's Toy, along with Cajun Fantasy. It was a good win, and it was at 11-10 on the tote board, rising in class today. But it looks like he made a good claim, and everybody's job gets easier with Fields of Green out.
Yeah, with Fields of Green out, you know, like you said, that's the big scratch of the afternoon. So Brian and I got the same super boxed around because they look like the logical 3 or 4. And you mentioned Chloe's Toy.
You know what we got to do? I can't believe we forgot. It's the ever popular middle pick 4.
That's right. We got to show that. Oh my goodness,
that.
I almost forgot. There
Thank
you go,
you,
single
boys.
into Fulminate today.
Yeah, so there's the 2 new races in the sequence, at least for me. And in race number 6, and that is the 1 down on the inside, Dialythic for Barboza right back. And I can't wait to see Mystical in race number 7. Actually, on the female side of the family is Mythical, her stablemate. Not her stablemate, actually, because Mythical's with a different trainer. But look out.
Very rarely do you make somebody even money on the
I got to be honest with you, Ron.
You had to struggle over that one.
It's a field of 10 3-year-olds, I was really wanted to make her 3 or 4 to 5.
Wow.
Yep.
So
It's going to be massive.
just saying that so you could see that. So Ned's the ticket, and Brian did, and we'll be back. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, I'll have my Rainbow Six ticket.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. It's Ron and Brian, and we're going to kick off the Rainbow Six with a 7.5 furlong race on the turf. And according to everyone except the Daily Racing Form, this is around 2 turns. These are maiden claimers, and they are 2-year-olds. And we had to wait for the scratches of 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 in this race. So things change around. Here's my ticket right now. I originally wasn't going to get beat, as Brian mentioned yesterday, with the one of the morning line favorites getting in. So 4 deep for me in opening leg. I think it's so wide open. We'll talk about it. Race number 6, I'm with you with Dialectic on top. 2 for me in race. I've got Mystical. I threw the 6 in there just in case. I got a stat on finding Mike Yates with second start. He's really good. Race number 8, my top pick is my long shot today, J squared. This one will show you stat, 12-1 on the morning line. Race number 9, I got the 9 on top. That's readier. We got a video we're going to show you. Hey, I'm going with Spy Novel, Nolan Ramsey in the last. That's my best bet of the day.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that's a great race to have a best bet of the day because, man alive, is that a difficult race.
Yeah. Well, you always say, like, if you get a race like that, if you can make a stand,
there you go.
You're lucky. So.
I mean, anybody playing tickets, I would think, that doesn't have your opinion in race 10, they're going 4 or 5 deep.
Yeah. So let's look at this race. Where'd you start?
Dartboard lands on the 1 after party with little to no conviction whatsoever. But Jack Sisterson, 21%, second up. Oh, turf. Baby, we can't miss that. Look at that.
I got everything written down, and I keep
4,
forgetting
5, 8 here for Samantha. She's going to use.
Right?
Don't Fire Joe. Interesting. 20-1 on the morning line. At least Orsino firster for DJ. I was thinking she was single and hits different in race 6, but we got to go to race 8.
Yeah, it's Caritan.
Okay, yeah, Caritan I think will be tough for Rohan. Rohan getting going again. Take note of that. Rohan Crichton in race 10. Spy Novel certainly, and then also
Hot Blood. Hot Blooded. That's the one that scares me.
Yeah,
in that
my
race,
top pick. If
for
Hot
sure.
Blooded clears
That's
and
your
gets
top pick?
loose,
Yeah, that's the one that scares me in there. I just thought it set up, as you mentioned earlier on the show, pace makes the race. Getting back to our dart throwing ability here in race number 5. 1 after party.
It's just it's a stab. Post position, biggest drop in racing. A horse bifrosted out of a Nyquist mare, so that's not a 5 furlong pedigree.
Right.
Might not be a turf pedigree either, but we want 2 turns. We get it today. That was one of those days where the gate was all the way to the right, and it was just really hard. You can't make up any ground when that happens at 5 furlongs.
You know, I went with Justin Smiles in here, and you talked about this is a trainer and a jockey pick. For me, the horse ran in the turf for 5 furlongs. It didn't really do much. I don't know if you want to call it run. It didn't do much running. I liked the drop. It was way over its head. Didn't belong there. Edgard's eyes sees fit to ride again, and it's Joe Orsino's just been having a great year. And I like the fact it's second blinkers when they're going around.
I like
2
second
turns.
blinkers too.
Yeah. So he's not going to be anywhere close to the favorite in here.
I don't think so. Joe's 30% maiden special weight to maiden claim.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think this horse can run at all.
Right.
If he can, you're going to see it today.
Yeah.
It's
today.
today.
This is it. This is it. Absolutely.
Yep.
Then there's other ways to go. Both Brian and I, the number 3 Bowie might turn out to be Carlos David, first time in his barn.
Yeah.
Blinkers off.
Well, here's a horse now, like yesterday with Merlin. This is a horse supposed to be bet, okay? This horse that might be able to control the pace. You got him Eseal named, stretching out, try and turf. I would think this horse is going. This horse is forward. He's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, you see how he runs in
Yep.
there. Wide open race in there. Now, race number 6 is 1 mile and 1/16 on the DePita Claimers fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward. Samantha's got a late pick 5 ticket. I was not forgetting anything this time, so let's check it out and see what she's got. She's going. We'll talk about the 6th.
Yeah.
She's 3 deep in race. What's that single? Oh, that's the one Caratan that she
There you
likes
go.
in there. I like the fact that she used my 4 in the last race, which is Spy Novel. Also, your top pick, Hot Blooded.
Yeah, Hot Blooded was avoided claim back in May. We don't know why. This is a horse with speed and Morelos and is dangerous. Don't know what we're going to get today, though.
Yeah, those avoided claims, people immediately think that, something bad happened. Could be any reason that they
anything.
avoided claim. They didn't like, whatever. So just always keep that in mind. Both of us went with the inside with Dialectic. You want to start there, and then we'll show that video of Hit Stiff and Pemberley.
There's a lot of horses that have been mired, stuck in neutral at the level. Dialythic is coming into the level. Off a 2-length win last time. Big move forward. Huge move forward. Second off the claim for Barboza. Well drawn. It always is difficult to rise out of, the 2s to the 3Ls and that kind of thing. If you're ever going to meet a group that you're supposed to be okay with, this is the one today.
Well, let's show that video of Pemberley and Hit Stiffer, and then I got a stat on Jose D'Angelo with the 3, but here's that race.
Here's Pemberley. This is on July 6th. Pemberley's going to run 3rd. And Hits Different actually runs 4th. Hits Different has run since then. Good to see Bo Chapman get a win yesterday. We'll have more on him during the week a little bit later. Hits Different is 0-for-18 on Tapita, Ronnie. Just no. Pemberley is off the claim for D'Angelo today. I like that. Pemberley is proven at the level. You get Edgard. That's why this horse is your morning line favorite.
Well, let's show you stat 2 with Jose D'Angelo with Pemberley here. You can see first off the claim. These are Tapita roots. I wanted to see what it was. Big sampling and very good. 24%. That's a good sample.
That's good, and that's Jose is, I believe, Jose's 14%. All told off the claim, so that's a big move right there.
Yeah, it's a big move. I wanted to point that out. And then you got, what do you make of I Love Venezuela coming back on short rest?
Listen, he was my best bet of the day 1 week ago today, and he was darn good. He beat nothing, at all. Giant class rise. I'm a big fan of horses coming back on short rest.
Oh, really?
I like it a lot because Ronald Coy's got a horse that's in form. She is clearly now, we know, she's a 2-turn Tapita horse. The night and day different in her form. Let's strike while the iron's hot. Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't leave her off my ticket when I did the Rainbow for all the reasons you mentioned in there. Race number 7 this afternoon is going to be a 5.5 furlong sprint on the fast main track, and these are maiden day state bred maiden filly 2-year-olds. We're going to scratch the inside horse, more Miss Mojo, and Brian's got a late pick 4 ticket here in race number 7.
Yeah, and so this is the reverse pyramid here, because I'm not looking to be mystical. Okay, in race number 8, that is my long shot in there. That's the 9. Is it all the way on the outside? No, it's Tall Story. Okay, speaking of Jack Sisterson, race number 9, I lose my best bet, so I scratch into the 3. Ensign Parker, and I'm the guy that has no opinion in the last that we talked about. Well, Ronnie does. Ronnie's best bet is Spy Novel. I'm on the 9, Hot Blooded, but certainly Spy Novel. I feel like the race goes through that one.
Yeah, there's 2 spies in that race.
Yeah, it's good luck.
That's
why Pete's upstairs and we're down here.
100% right there. Getting back to race number 7, Brian. Tell us why.
Well, here's mystical, and I know I've talked to Brian Cohen quite a bit, and he likes this filly. He thought maybe she could be better than Mythical. Mythical's the best 2-year-old filly in the country. I'm not saying now. I'm saying at one point. Saying at one point, okay? And she's got some pedigree on the bottom that is kin to Mythical because the dam, who was 0-for-13, is a half to Leilani, who's the dam of Mythical. Oh. So Brian, Mystical and Mythical, took me about 9 times to film this damn thing yesterday for social media. Look at the works, the homebred, it's Safi, it's Edgard. Like I said, Ronnie, this horse to me might be 1-5 in here.
I agree. I just wrote work, so just like the way this horse is working. But We got Finding Strength in here.
Well-
We got a replay we want to show you.
Yeah.
And this is second start for Mike Yates. When the replay's over, we'll show you the stat.
Yeah, here's a good run for Mike. They bet this horse a little bit, 7-2 on debut. Tessellate was the winner of this race. She was in the Cyrus, in the Sharp Susan, me, last week. It's a good effort. It was a slow race, nothing snazzy. It's not going to beat Mystical if she can run, but it was a really good starting off point for a horse. The other thing I like too, she passed a bunch of horses in this race. I think that's very, very key for a horse to pass horses. She gets to stretch out a little bit today, and that's a big stat.
2-year-olds, second start in the dirt. Not first. Look at this, 28% positive return of investment. This is Mikey. If he doesn't have them cranked, they run well in their second start. It's proven right there. And this one being by Kozan, I think that's the horse that's going to give. Maybe if Mystic doesn't run its race,
I agree.
That's the one that gets it done.
I agree. And I think that stat is huge and a credit to Mike and his team because Mike's a first-out guy.
Yeah.
Mike's about 18, 19%. He usually does have them cranked, so you say to yourself, well, if they don't win at first out and they're all cranked, they're going to regress. Not the case at all. Big stat there.
Big stat. So Stat Boy did a good job.
Stat Boy.
Race number 8, mile on the turf. Starter optional claimer for 3-year-olds and upward. Nice full field of 11. You like turf racing and big fields? Look no further than Gulfstream Park over these last few days in here, Brian. I'll go with J Squared as my long shot in here. And what I like about this horse, moves to the turf, gets Lasix, first start since winning that race, I don't know, back in August, almost a year ago, so to the day. Comes back. I love the connections, and I just taking a shot here. They put him in for 35. He ran for 35. 12-1 on the morning line. I think that's fair.
I hope, Ron, you get it. Maybe the connections. Maybe you have to take a little bit under. I really hope, because this is a long shot.
Yeah.
You would agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Ace Connections. This horse has only run against 2-year-olds, not even older horses, let alone 3-year-olds. 2-year-olds, the layoff, the turf. Lasix, you get Edgard. It's the connections are great. This is a big ask for this horse.
Let's show you the stat here that I found on J Squared. See if this will help you, or maybe think I might be on the right back. Tapeta to turf the past 4 years, 15%, 42% in the money with a positive return of investment. So maybe, but you make great points. It is, as you said, a long shot in there. Now, Samantha. Do you have a Caratan on top too?
No, I've got my long shot. This is a long shot race, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And we can take a quick look at my late 4 in here as well, late pick 4. We'll take a look at it now because I've got we already did that. This is out of my mind here. Because I think this is a long shot race. This is it here, but we got it already. I went through it. My bad. That's my bad. Thank you, guys. At least my horse is. I feel like my horse might be a little better version of your horse.
Yeah.
Looking up at some of these, but has got a turf win at least, okay? Off a layoff, very similar to, trying winners today for the first time, but the turf race, night and day different than the tough ask on Tapeta on debut at 9 furlongs. Take a shot here. There's some classy horses in here for this kind of level.
At Samantha's single Caratan, all you have to do is look at the race 2 back on May 29th for this horse, and don't dismiss the race on the Tapeta last time out. That was good. On paper, here's the one to beat.
Yeah, and but here's talking about what Ronnie and I are doing long shot. This is your 7-2 morning line favorite. So regardless of who maybe goes postward favorite, what a competitive race if that's 7-2. But the turf races, I do think they're a shade better than everybody else.
Yeah, so we'll see how that race plays out. That's race number 8. Great betting race once again with a full field of 11 runners. Going back to the Tapeta and sprinting race number 9, these are claimers. They're going to go 5.5. They're 3-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch, as Brad, this was your best bet today.
Yeah,
Brian Banneker scratched out of the race and sort of opens up everything. We got a video of Reddier, Rough Draft, and Ensign Parker. We'll show that, and then we'll talk about old Ensign Parker.
Yeah, well, I mean, here we go. Here, Reddier is your favorite here on the outside in this race, and he runs well. He's 4th in this spot, but Rough Draft and Ensign Parker run a little bit. But Reddier had a little trip this day because he really did have some trouble. He had a lot of run and was all dressed up with kind of nowhere to go, and then everybody swoops him late. I like this post. We have to mention, whether you liked Banneker or not, that's not the point. The speed of this race is out. That's a big deal.
And Reddier, if you read the small trouble line, was squeezed at the start. So, like he said, a bit of a rough trip. And by the way, the 6 is going to be ridden by apprentice. Without the apprentice allowance, that's Luis Fumayor is going to ride the number 6 this afternoon. These are the ones I think, the 9, the 3, like we have up there. I think that's how you go in this particular race, in race number 5. Just the way to go. Another great betting race is the last race on Sunday afternoon, and it is 1 mile, 1/16 on the turf. These are claimers. They're 3-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch Eddie the Great in here. And, Brian, let's start with Hot-Blooded, who I have in second.
Yeah, so you're on to it as well. As we mentioned, voided claim. You don't know why. As Ronnie said, it can be myriad different reasons why horses are voided claim. But here's the Beach Gold Dear Dad race again, right? King Doro and yesterday.
That's
very
a good
light
race.
Yeah, that's a good race because Beach Gold for being Cone goes up to Ellis and wins a stake race. She's going to run for, I don't know the exact purse, but that Monopoly money at Turfway Kentucky Downs in the big stakes race there. So what a race he comes out of. Now that was late May, voided claim, haven't seen him since. The work tab a little sparse, but I'm expecting Jose Morelos to put him on the lead, and let's see if we get brave. We saw it again yesterday. Speed's going to hold out there.
And that was a pretty good race, as we mentioned. We mentioned it a bunch of times over the last couple of days. The voided claim, if you do some research, it's really not as bad as some people think. You didn't mention voided claim. Yeah, we mention it all the time. You got to sort of do the homework. You see the works, like you said, see how they run.
Here's the other thing too, and I've gotten in discussions about this. The process to get to the races is extensive.
Right.
You have to pass so much vets and all that. If the horse is in the starting gate, he's ready to go. He or she is ready to go. I mean, they have to pass so many checkpoints to get out there. So if they're running, I don't have a problem with it.
I like, and they give the horse time off, and everything. And it's just, I don't pay that. The point I'm trying to make is I don't pay that much attention to it, as long as, as you said, they're working well, they look like they're coming back, and they're allowed to run. Spy Novel. It's simple for me on this one. The drop, number 1. You look at this horse's record on the turf. 5 starts, 3 wins in a second. So on its favorite surface, Nolan Ramsey just having a great campaign since he went out on his own and dropping down. And you just look at the horses this one was facing before that. I think they're better than anybody in this race.
Yeah, and I'm going to go one step further, Ronnie. 3 for 5 on the Gulfstream turf, 0 for 5 everywhere else on the turf. So it's right here. Lasix goes back on today, too.
Yeah, Lasix back on. So it's the drop. Really good connections in there. And you got the horse on your ticket there. And what about the number 8 horse in here? Oh, we got a video.
Yeah, we got a video of Samburu, who ran really well for 35 last time, so he's dropping. He could easily be your favorite in here, dropping from 35 to 20 today. This is a good run. Now, he's a little bit pace dependent, and that worries me in a race like this, especially if a horse like Hot-Blooded can clear Samburu. He's not necessarily a win machine either. Look at all the losses. You got to go back to 2023 to come up with a win for this horse, but he does run well here. He's going to get some much needed, in my opinion, class relief, and he's going to run on late, to be sure.
Hey, you look at the last race yesterday, the horse came from way off the pace, up the inside, on the grass. Doesn't happen. And as you mentioned, it's just how the race unfolds in here. You think that Hot-Blooded, the top pick, is just going to go and set it up. If the horse is not ready or doesn't complete the distance, going on the front end. Maybe a horse like that, Samburu picks it up in there. So that is race number 10. And that's how we see the 10 for Sunday, but we're not done. We got the lightning round here. And boy, we had some really nice action yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good card, a good day of racing yesterday, and we talked about it earlier. The sheer drama is the prep for the Win and You're In Breeders' Cup Princess Rooney, and that's going to be a little later in September. But you see Flow aided because they went wild early, and Vincy Girl was good. Maybe Hall and Ice was a little too close to this pace, but to me, if you go back and watch the race in its entirety, entering the far turn, Hall and Ice was 1 to 9. I kind of feel like she was just a little flat, Ron.
Do we move this horse up, Vincy Girl, and move Hall and Ice back, or do we just say that, like you said, pace aided? Let's see what they do the next time.
I mean, Pete said it. They couldn't go any faster in that race. Now they're going to go fast in the Rooney as well.
Yeah, right,
We saw Soul of an Angel last year close from literally
Be
Hollywood Beach to come by all of them. She did the same in the Breeders' Cup, by the way.
What a race that was in the
What a
Breeders'
race
Cup.
that was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they're going to go
amazing.
fast in the Rooney. And the reason why I picked this horse yesterday is because she can settle a little bit.
Right,
and
yeah.
that's good. Rooney's 7 furlongs. That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah, so it's really, let's see. Right?
This is, in the Frolics Revenge.
Right.
Starship, Impulsive, and Ashima.
What a race.
Yeah, what a
What a
race.
race.
And they went wild early. I
Yeah.
don't know why you got to go 22 and
Yeah.
2 for a second quarter. They Let's Go Coco paid the price, and to Starship Impulsive's credit, and ask
Well,
Samantha,
what a horse that is.
she'll tell you she's able to settle and pass horses, and she would not let Ashima by.
Yeah, Shimmer, boy, look at this.
Yep.
That worked great. Thanks for that. Look at that.
Yep.
And the Shimmer won the post parade.
You said that.
contest.
Yeah,
I
that's right.
thought that horse looked fantastic. Ran great, but that
Sure
horse,
did.
what's the 4th in a row by that?
4th in a row, and yesterday was important too. That was her first race against older horses.
Yeah.
So yeah, Steve Dwas has done a really good job with her.
I'm seeing easy.
Yeah,
what
well,
am I getting here?
that's what was happening yesterday with a 2-year-old Road Forever. Just they bet this horse for Jose D'Angelo in Sonata Stable, and boy, oh boy, did he deliver as easy money here, running off the screen and running up the score.
Yeah, he just was unbelievable in that race. So, unbelievable performance. We'll see what he does down the road. Those were the Florida-bred, state-bred Florida-bred.
Yeah.
So let's see him in stakes action that we have here throughout the summer and fall. He actually released what the stake schedule is going to be. It's definitely on our website. You can check it out.
Yeah, and the scary thing for that horse is he's by Bolt Doro, who's a 2-turn horse. Yeah. So this horse, longer the better for him, and that's pretty exciting. And Jose D'Angelo's a 9% first out trainer. When they win first out, you better look out.
And we got the Tropical Turf Pick 3. It kicks off in race number 5 this afternoon.
There we go.
Great Betsy, 5, 8, and 10. Starts at 3:04 p.m. $3 minimum wage. Your boy pays great.
Yeah, it does. And it's a $3, 15% takeout. It's a very, very player-friendly bet. I highly advise you get involved. And Samantha, as we showed you earlier, and she'll show you again later, she has a ticket.
Yeah, she has a ticket. Later on. Your best bet this afternoon was outdoor. My best bet is in race number 10 as a single spy novel, taking a little bit of a shot there. Your long shot today. We're both in the same race.
Both in the same race with dueling long shots. I'm on the Jack Sisterson with Tall Story, and you're a little bit to my left.
Yeah, I'm going out J squared,
There we
12-1 with the 4, and we'll see how that runs. That's it for us for the early show, as Brian just mentioned. Samantha will be joining us throughout the afternoon, and good luck to all of you. And Pete, it's all yours.
At the